100 pro tips and Rainbow Six Siege. Ladies and gentlemen, we have gone from the 25 to the 50 to the 75, and now we're in the Avengers Endgame. Now in the last video, we tried to hit 7,000 likes and you guys crushed it. So in today's video, our goal is 15,000 likes. I know we can do it. But without further ado, 100 pro tips in Rainbow Six Siege. Number 1 is shooting glass on the windows. Are you being smart or are you being schizophrenic? This way you can hear repels and enemies outside. Number 2, turn on night mode for more balanced audio. Quieter sounds like footsteps will appear louder and explosions will appear quieter. Now I've done some research and night mode actually benefits more for anyone with in-ear phones like this that go directly in your ear for earbuds. But if you're using a headset like a HyperX HyperCloud, it's probably best to use hi-fi. So depending on your audio device, you should try between those two. Number 3 is to use laser sight more on weapons. This will increase your ADS time, so this way you're not caught lacking too much. So if you want the fastest ADS time, use laser sight. Number 4 is to learn default takes. Default takes are basically, there's about 2 of them for every bomb site. There is a direct and a crossover. What is a crossover? A crossover is basically when you enter the opposite side of the map. This way you can get some early map control. You're mostly fighting the roamers until you eventually get closer to the objective. Now a direct take is really just 1 or 2 rooms closest to the bomb site. So use those two methods, either a direct push or a crossover, so this way you can have more consistent attacks. Number 5 is to get off 16:9. Now if you really like native res, go ahead, stick with it. But for a lot of us in this game, you know, wider hitboxes and the game looks a lot less squished together if you try 3x2, 4x3, or anything above 16:9. But please give those a try before you stick with native res. Number 6 is head level on barricades. If you barricade a door and you look at the second top buckle, that is about 75% of the barricade, that will be head level no matter where you go. The only place it would change is either if you're looking up at a hatch, vertical, or on a staircase. But this will give good muscle memory for you and good crosshair placement. Number 7 is how do you mav a wall soft? You want to start from the top and then go from the bottom of a line you'll see in this video. The most important part about Maverick is that you do not skip any part of the wall. Always make sure it's fully done, otherwise you're risking your life by going back on a hole that's already open. Just listen for that metal panel sound and you're good. And for the bottom, you guys actually called me out on this, but it's probably better for you to crouch, so this way it's easier for you to retreat if you're getting shot at. Just get comfortable with the range of the Maverick torch and you're solid. Number 8, I actually use this on Royal Penguin, but that is to bait your florist drone. What you can do is you can actually just drive it and immediately get off of it. That way it will auto drive, and when they go shoot the florist drone, you're actually already gun in their face. It's almost like Yoru from Valorant. To counter bandit tricking on attack, you are going to use 1 EMP and 2 different hard breaching devices. This way, when he destroys one, this other side will open, and that's an early chance for you to shoot. Now to counter cage tricking is different. It's actually 2 EMPs, 1 hard breaching gadget. This way you can reset the timer of him trying to throw the Cade claw, and that will lead you opening at the wall before the Cade can recover. Number 11 is the fuse Chalet lineup. You can counter bandit tricking on the basement garage by fusing this exact spot, and this way he will be going boom boom before he can do anything. Number 12 is playing aggressive isn't just brute force. It is crossing the gate before it closes. So what I mean by this, it's not the smartest way to just bum rush into sight through a lot of traps and enemy lines, but instead you should wait until you see an opening where someone was not watching an angle, a room is being unguarded. You gotta take that before someone walks in. So remember, confidence is key. If it's open, you take that shit. Number 13, you can shoot candelas. So if you ever miss and don't want to flash your teammates, shoot it. Number 14, when you're making vertical gameplay, back up and recover on a hard surface. This way you can be unpredictable to bait the C4. Number 15, Siege is like a puzzle of muscle memory. So remember what I said about default takes on attack and keeping consistent. Being consistent on defense and attack really just comes down to your habits. So whenever you encounter a scenario that could danger you in the round, you by muscle memory and experience, you already know what to do. So basically you're just taking the smartest route and the safest one to allow you to have the best advantage. So figure out what muscle memory you need to fit into the puzzle. This could be not change your sensitivity too often. Maybe you have a certain push down or even a certain trap setup that you love doing on a certain map. Being consistent in Siege means a lot because this means no matter what team you go up against, you're already ready. So avoid all the autopilot and actually focus on what you're doing in the round. So this way your muscle memory can kick in and you don't have to worry about winging it, because the team that is most prepared is most likely going to win the outcome. Number 16 is to pre-place your drones. Put put them inside the building somewhere. Now, obviously this might be a challenge because of Solus, but by the time this video is out, the Solus nerf could already taken place, which you can't see the drones in that prep phase. But this is very, very good for allowing your entry fraggers to come in the building fast without having to drone themselves. And this also works in solo queue. When you're solo queue and you don't want to worry about your teammates droning you in, just put a pre-play somewhere. If they don't have a Solus, that's free information for you. And you never know. I killed a lot of people spawn ping because they never saw my drone. Number 17. Now this really works in higher ranks or even lower ranks too. And that is to identify gaps to take. A lot of people want to attack or lost because they're looking at the entire bomb site setup and where all 5 players are at all times. Instead, find the little chink in the armor that you can destroy. On attack, if a certain part of the map is not being held and you can just get in for free, take that map control as soon as you can. And once you're close enough to the bomb site and you can isolate a certain defender, you can see that as like a domino effect. If you kill that one person sitting in a room, you unlock a lot of map control and all the other dominoes will fall because they're not aware. Number 18 is to have proper site setups. A lot of people on defense forget to reinforce, forget to make holes, not even make the right rotates. If you don't have a proper base set up, your whole defense is going to collapse because sometime later in the round, you're going to die because you can't C4 over some holes you didn't even make. So always have a good base site setup, learn these site setups from your teammates and make them every single time. Remember, consistency is key. Number 19, you can actually destroy the bandits on the CCTV wall from a safe distance outside. If you go to the front door in Clubhouse and you aim right to above wherever the soft wall hits the CCTV wall, ash charge that once or twice and you're good. But if he's tricking, you're definitely going to need to go below on those holes to make sure he doesn't put any bandits down. Number 20, have some goddamn confidence. So many of you guys are scared to take gunfights in this game as if you die in real life if you die in game. How are you ever going to boost your KD if you're always just waiting for them to take the gunfight to you? I guarantee you right now, the way I see it, the enemy team is just as scared as you might think. So just think to yourself, you're better, swing, pre-fire that. Number 21, the pixel call out you will hear is on cafe, and that is usually in the small corner of where people like to tuck in from. You might refer to this as the bitch corner or rat corner because it's quite a bitch spot to play. To counter Mira, you can use a punch, ash charge, Kali gadget, twitch, hard breach, 0. Number 23, we have the Hibana clubhouse trick. If there is a K-claw on the hatch, you can actually put your Hibana pellets around the hatch and that will eventually explode the K-claw. Number 24, the Shaiko peak. This is the peak that everyone wants to learn. Spoit does it, everyone does it. The best way to do it is if you see on the mouse cam that I have, it's a big process of 3 main steps. So get those 3 where it's leaning in, you lean out, but then you cancel it and come back in. It's going to take you about almost up to an hour to get down. Once you do that, the muscle memory is there forever. So start out slow and then go faster. Number 25 is to learn to trade your teammates. What does this mean? When your teammate goes into a room and he dies, you want to go in there to get his refrag. It's basically, you guys take one of my people, I'm taking one of your guys. This is a good tactic because it leaves in a small window where you can take that man advantage away from the enemy. When dealing with shields, you're going to want to use impact grenades, aim for their legs or their arm, and keep your distance. You're most likely never going to kill a shield player all at once unless they're literally not looking at you, but you want to just take off a little bit of damage, back up, take off a little bit of damage until you have a better spot to kill them. But don't try to get up close with a shield because they'll just end up pushing you over and killing you. But I will say, if you are around a shield close enough and you have time to knife him first, you can kick back his shield and then obviously spray him when he's open. But you have to be aware of that distance that he has the better knife than you. Number 27, some clash counters are punching her, Kali charge, Zofia charge, or a nomad. So the next time you see a clash, stop banning her. Just know the next time you ban clash, you are a certified worm. Number 28, Iona clones can destroy arena gates an infinite amount of times. And it's also really good to know how to fake your Iona clone. So this way they hear the full sound, but when they come to run out on you, you're actually a real person. So do this once in a while, not too much to throw off your enemy. Number 29, you can thermite above a mute jammer. You just have to rappel up. Don't go upside down. Just rappel up until you hit the you are out of the radius of the mute jammer. Because if you go upside down, then it's going to blow up uneven and sometimes you can't even walk through it. It just makes a hole above you. When you are solo queue, trust nobody but yourself. Oh, you need a Thatcher's going to get the wall. You guys need a heart breacher, someone to plant the bomb. Bro, take the bomb every single time because if you're dead, you're cooked. So stop blaming your teammates when you're in solo queue. If you're in solo queue, you should expect to lose because you're basically signing a contract. I agree to be at a disadvantage of my team. So focus on what you can control and don't try to control other people. And I guarantee you're going to see a lot of more improvement and overall a better mood. Number 31, some good ace placements. stop throwing the A charges so random on the wall like a freaking playground kid throwing Play-Doh at a wall. Most of the time, if you want to get more wide range, you can ace both sides around head level. But if you want one where you don't have to vault in, you're going to have to use two. Number 32, avoid crouch walking and proning. This is only going to make you an easier target, prone to more headshots. And also, you give off way more sound cue. So if you think that you're a little sneaky little worm going through the map, you're not. You're better off being hard to kill than easy to kill. And nobody wants to be the little rabbit that gets caught by the arrow. Number 33, the Logi hatch angle. If you actually sprint out and you hit the fan, then your character will just plop right there and you can see directly more deep in. Number 34, avoid re-peeking the angle the same way. You always want to change your head level or even change up the angle, but now they have a spot where they can just pre-fire you before you even see them. Just think about it. If they seen you in that one position or angle, you can't use that again for the rest of the round. Unless you're dealing with a different opponent, it's a bit of a different story. But this way, you're always keeping them on edge and being unpredictable as a player. Number 35, avoid sprinting inside. You only want to be sprinting outside, but if you're going to be sprinting inside, you better know exactly that you are safe around you or if you're trying to get to somewhere fast. But if you're sprinting around, you're more prone to more angles and you don't want to get caught with your pants down. Or else Diddy's going to find you and nothing good is going to happen from there. Number 36, use the clock for better positioning. If it's still pretty early in the round, you're allowed to be outside. If it's still pretty early in the round, you can probably play off site a little bit better. But when the time goes down to like a minute left, it's better to finalize where you want to go. It's almost like when you're playing outside as a kid and the orange light turns on, then you know you got to get your ass back home for dinner. Number 37, apply ghost pressure. What is ghost pressure? Ghost pressure is basically implying danger on the enemy when you're not even there. So if I were to open up a random barricade and I was just going around the map, they would, think someone might be outside that window when you're not. So this way it's a lot easier for the enemy to predict you. Number 38, always contest one room away from the site on defense. So this could be study on Aviator. This could be Blue Bunker on Oregon Basement. So this could be garage on Clubhouse for CCTV. The whole point of this is to delay the map control that the attackers are trying to get. Remember, attackers are always trying to get map control around the bomb site to make it easier to take. Our job as defenders is to delay that from happening and eventually delay the bomb from being planted. So even if you don't know what you're doing, you just happen to be defending the best spot on the map. Number 39, learn all the sound cues, but don't get baited by them. So if someone goes prone, you know exactly to aim at the foot to, shoot their head. But if someone gets on their camera, you don't want to immediately run out because they could get off and then by the time they're doing that, they could shoot you down. So have some trigger discipline when it comes to hearing sound cues. Think about the different outcomes that could happen and if the risk management is available. Number 40, take more accountability. Way too many people are blaming that teammate, the server, this guy's just doing random. Guys, this all comes down to, again, focus on what you can control yourself. Your aim, your game sense, how good are you at the game. Obviously, there's people like me dominating the game in every lobby they go into. I can counter a lot of players, but that's because I've been playing the game for a long time and I owe it to a lot of actually, you know what? I'm not as good as I think I am. I can always improve. So the more accountability that you take in this game, the easier of a flow of learning this game will be. So listen, you worm, understand that you suck at the game, but that's kind of a good thing, which means you have a lot more room to grow. So if you don't want to take accountability, then Number 41, Azami Oregon Pixel, otherwise known as My Domain Expansion. So what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to press yourself up against the door frame, Azami at the very bottom so you can cancel the animation, and then you aim just above the silver lining. You go aim a little bit lower and throw it down. Now, you have the tightest angle known to man. I guarantee you this is a free kill every single round. Number 42, the Flores Bang Trick. Sometimes this is best for using castle, or if you want to just have a good angle in, you can use this Flores trick and it's going to help you a lot. Next, we have the Monty ADS trick. So this is actually to protect your face when you're aiming down with the shield. Like let's say if you're Monty and you were to ADS, you would look up first really fast and then you would aim back down. It's a bit of a tricky to get down for your aim, but this will make sure that your face is more protected. So when you go for a headshot, it's a lot harder. Number 44, pair Dokubi calls with droning. This way, you don't have to check every single angle. As long as you just don't hear a ringing going on, you can actually just pass through that room. Number 45, the Bolo call out on Oregon is hard left of the trophy door. Number 46, you can buck up to 3 floors of vertical. So if you're afraid of getting C4'd and you want to try a new trick out, go from the 3rd floor and you can penetrate all the way down. Number 47, use more match replay. The best way to to correct your gameplay by yourself is to watch yourself play. This way you see from a bird's eye view, you can see what the enemy was thinking, how they reacted to your push. There's infinite information. This is why pro league teams do it all the time, because this way you will see a way of how you play and you think without all the pressure of the game itself in the heat of the moment. Number 48, stop caring so much about your elo. So many people are like, oh, I lost the game, I better not play for the rest of the day or else I might drop to silver 1. Guys, listen, even if you get the champion, what elo are you gonna lose? It's not like you're losing money. So don't let this affect you unless you know you're on a very bad losing streak and it's just the game is miserable or too many cheaters. Then just keep going, man. Keep it pushing. And most of you guys need more reps. You need to go in, lose a lot more games, so this way you can actually understand how to improve as a player and maybe just practice your gun skill. But to an extent, I would not recommend solo queuing too much. But don't stop yourself from getting better just because you care about being a higher rank than your friends. Number 49, vertical bars are always opposite of the floor lines. So let's say if the floorboards that I see are going this way, the metal bars are most likely the opposite. Number 50, the best callouts in Siege are, he's right there. Watch out, they have guns. Guys, stop using these callouts. Use the compass on the bottom of your screen if you really don't know what it is. Number 51, IQ is a hard counter to Vigil and Pulse. Number 52, a positioning mistake that lets a lot of people swing you. So a lot of people in this game don't understand Peeker's advantage and they think that if you crumble up into a ball and hide in a corner, you're safe. When in reality, it's actually the exact opposite. So just because you're holding an off angle does not mean you're always safe. You might prone yourself open to getting swung and pre-fired into a little hole. Number 53, stop putting shields on doorways. This might feel good because it feels like you're patching up a hole with a shield when no, this ain't no Fortress game. This ain't Fortnite. Instead, you're better off just not putting it near a doorway in general and actually put it more somewhere in the middle of the room where you can actually hold that awkward angle. Back it up a little bit if it's near a door, so this way you can pair up some Jaeger ADS or Wamai gadgets. Number 54, you can make a wall soft with Ace and Habana. Although these aren't very realistic to use combined to like just using them regularly, but it's something good that you should know. Number 55, how to deal with Monty in a 1v1. You don't. It is extremely hard to counter on Monty, especially when it's a good one, but if it's a bad one, there's a few ways you can deal with it. Number 2, you can try to juke him out left and right and try to pre-fire his gun or his foot. You can use impact grenades, nitro cells to chip down his HP. And if he ever unextends his shield, punch it right away because he can't shoot yet. The only thing he can do is shield knockback that gives you a time to shoot him in the head. Number 56, use Grim like map denial rather than a head-on B. If you want an area where you want defenders to not enter, put those Bs down and it's like a Capitao fire. They're not going to even walk near that angle. So use this time to actually get in, get the bomb down or whatever you're trying to do and get the hell out. Number 57, you have the Legion and Ella stack. If you put some Ella mines, all 3 of them up top, you can actually stack a lot of Legion mines. So if anyone walks through that door, they're going to hit about 5 Legion mines and they're going to die instantly. Number 58 is you can impact trick Ace charges. Now, this is a very good skill to learn in higher ranks as Ace is arguably the best hard breacher right now. And a good way to trick him is to use impact tricks. You can either do it above the wall, but with the impact trick nerf, it might not catch all the Selmas. So when the first one goes off, you can actually, it opens a small window where you can throw an impact grenade and destroy the second one. So now he's forced to use the second one to open up the wall all the way. These are kind of hard to line up sometimes, so it's going to take some practice. Number 59, if you thermite the side of walls for collateral breach, it will blow up both of the walls. Number 60 is a line scan after every kill that you have to prevent refrags from happening. This also just adds more pressure to your attack anyways. If you're feeling lonely on Siege, unfortunately I'm not able to get you a Siege girlfriend. However, I can get you a stack. So use game chat if you just have absolutely no one to play with. Oh, you come across a toxic person? Okay, mute them and move on to the next. But if you have a person who goes the hard breach, he talks back to you really good and you guys make some good communication, add that guy. He's probably looking for a stack too. Oh, but I have social anxiety or I'm a girl and you know, it's harder for me. Listen, like I said, you're not gonna find everyone's gonna be nice to you, but just add the people that are. And truly, you're not gonna find a good stack out there. They're not gonna magically show up in your DMs. You need to put yourself out there and actually be the good teammate that you were looking for yourself. Number 62 is that utilize Hibana pellet changes. For example, it's 2 to break a soft hatch or any kind of castle barricade. Takes about 4 to destroy a reinforced hatch. You can also make this as a small hole you can prone through. through, and using all 6 would be better for more of a line of sight. But remember, you are limited to your Hibana gadgets, so try to prevent any kind of useless use and not waste any Hibana X Kairos. Number 63, change the team color to blue for easy sight on traps, claymores, and all that yada yada. A lot of people ask, why do I use orange? And the story behind that is not for any competitive advantage, but when I used to play in competitive, we would mostly start out on defense first, and this was before colors were a thing. But if you were orange, that typically meant you're defending first, and I felt the most confident on defense. So if I'm always feel like I'm defending first, then you know I would have more confidence on attack too. It's kind of stupid, I know, but it's just my preference. Number 64, turn off screen shake. We don't want that happening. Number 65, hard breach should drone most and stay alive until the breach is open. I hate it when we're attacking some sort of bomb site that absolutely requires us to have a hard breacher, and that guy dies because he's sprinting out of spawn because he wasn't placing his camera and he was scrolling on TikTok. So guys, please do your team a favor and do not get spawn peeked. Don't die early. Don't peek dumb shit. Drone your teammate in. Be safe. Throw your gadget. Get the wall open. Boom. Everyone's happy. You can die now. Number 66 is to use buck to create fast and new angles. A good buck player knows how to switch from the shotgun from cover and switch back to his primary when he's taking on a long angle. You can also use them to just make random holes for distract anyone nearby you. You can juke them out, you know, pop a buck above you, shoot that open, throw a flashbang through, rush the door, act confident. Number 67, Brava is a great counter to gadgets like Maestro and Aruni. So bring a Brava if you see them playing those characters a lot, because it can really turn the tide on them. Number 68, you can actually open up the lobby hatch as Hibana from all the way outside E3. It's a little weird, but this could save you some time. Number 69, we have Finka can revive teammates. Always pop it when someone takes damage. So let's say if you're walking out of spawn and Ace takes about 30 damage to the chest. Pop that Finka surge ASAP before he dies. It's better to use all your Finka boost instead of just always saving an extra one at the end, because you never know, that little bit extra HP could really save you the round. Number 70, nomad air jabs can be destroyed if you go prone. Number 71, if you are unsure of an enemy location, just use a Zofia charge. This way, if it doesn't blow up immediately, no one's nearby. If it does blow up immediately, think about any of the common angles in that area and check those first. Number 72, florist drones can actually pass through Aruni gates. If you jump it up through a window, a Aruni window, and you blow it and you detonate it, it will become an indestructible little thing, and then you can destroy it. And just an extra tip for you, I know there's no gameplay of this probably, but you can actually throw an impact grenade at a florist drone after it goes off and it will destroy it. I don't know how that works, but it just does. Number 73, do not neglect warming up, because if you go in dry, it ain't gonna lube up. And I'm talking about your aim, of course, and your joints in your hand. But a little, like 5 minutes of the shooting range, 5 minutes of a training drill could really make your aim different. Number 74, Echo Border Yokai. You can actually see into spawn and get some good spawn peaks with this. Number 75, avoid solo queuing. When you solo queue in this game, like I said, you're signing a contract away that I agree I'm at a disadvantage of teammates who are toxic, won't talk to me, and will drop 0 kills every round. So just add more people, get into a stack, build up your friends list. But if you are going to solo queue, you must understand that it is every man for his frick himself. Number 76, go Chalet Dining first if you're really trying to win. Chalet Dining has eventually grown from the comp scene over into ranked, but it's a lot better of a room to roam above and to retake. And a lot of people don't even know how to attack it these days, so they just run around, and if you really get good at this bomb site, you're gonna dominate. The best way I like to play Chalet Dining is to roam first and then come back to site, and then by the time they're back on site, there's no good way for them to enter the bomb site. Number 77, watch good players. Why try to reinvent the wheel when you can just watch other people do it? So if you watch Bolo, Spoid, Uzi, people with crazy aim, you'll get some good confidence from them and how they take gunfights. Or maybe if you want to watch someone smart like me, Pox Unlocks, or Pangu, you can kind of learn some good utility tricks. But guys, please save your lot of time by just randomly solo queuing, watch good players, and be like, okay, let me learn this skill next, and then you just keep learning new skills. Because if you're always playing with your chumps that play in custom games and casual, you're not gonna learn as a player. So always challenge your thinking. Number 78, when you feel stuck, always think, what do I need to do next? It's as simple as that. Because that way, a lot of people just hit a mental brick wall when so many gunfights are happening and they're like, what do I do? Be like, okay, what do I need to do next? Okay, where's the bomb? Where do we want to plant? Where are the roamers at? Where's everyone sitting? Do you have a drone? But drones are a really good way to get information to know what you need to do next. Number 79, when you're roaming, aim to waste about a minute 30 off the clock. When you have a minute 30, you've wasted a good amount of time. And if you get out there alive and now you're back on site, you basically just made them waste half the round for no reason. Number 80, when you're anchoring, pay pay attention to the gaps and rushes on camera, because you don't want to lose the round just because it was as simple as not watching your back. And remember, as an attacker, we're always trying to look for those gaps. Number 81, for a recoil tip for really good attachments, always run flash, vertical, or ACOG. Now this is good for about 80% of guns, but with the new changes, you'll see like horizontal grip, or maybe ACOGs are just too zoomed in for you. That is where you make adjustments, but for most guns in this game, those have the easiest recoil control. So try those 3 attachments on every single gun if it allows it to, and then make changes from there for your personal preference. Number 82, your stats don't matter. I don't care what your KD is. If you are not a good team player, you're out. Also, focusing on stats is just so surface level. Obviously, if they have like a 0.7, then you know they might need some help on gunplay, but maybe he dies a lot because he doesn't have a good team. So instead, if you really want to raise your KD, focus on your positioning, gun skill, not dying too fast. Just focus on improving as a player overall, and your stats will reflect itself. Number 83, use game chat more often. How do you find people to not solo queue? Use game chat. Look, I'll do this. You do what you do. This is how you find teammates in Siege. Yo, anybody here got a mic?
Shut up, retard. Why'd you ban Val? Fucking silver ass retard.
Okay, maybe sometimes it's better to not talk. Number 84, the Harry Potter call out on any map is usually just under a staircase. Because I've never watched Harry Potter because I'm not a nerd, but I also like Star Wars, is that he just lives in under a staircase. So let me know in the comments below, is Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, or Star Wars better? You're all nerds. Shut up. Number 85, the Chalet impact trick on the drone hole. Now, if a thermite or an ace charge really gets the far left of the wall, you can deny it completely with an impact grenade. But you have to get closer up now, because with the impact grenade nerf, which I don't know what was necessary, they made it smaller, so you gotta fix up that. Number 86 is a zombie cigar strat. Guys, this is also my domain expansion. Every good zombie player does this, and it's a pain in the ass to deal with. Just remember, after a minute 30, you don't have to stay in there that long, but if they are actively not pushing red in that cigar area, stay there. Number 87, a tip for traps is to not put them down so far. The whole point of traps is to delay the enemies from getting close enough to you for a gunfight on your weak points. So if my trap is like a lot further away from me on the bottom of a staircase, it's gonna give me some time to react to turn my back. But you have to think about it. If an enemy were to hit my trap right now, would there be any change? Number 88, when you're playing bad, you're either caring too much or you're just tired. You know, long day at work, English teacher took away your phone when you were trying to, you know, watch this video, then your mood might plummet a little bit. Or maybe if you're just tilted after first kill, you're gonna be hitting your desk and just overall not thinking correctly. So try to avoid those 2 bad feelings, and you're gonna be a lot better in Siege. Or you can do what I like to do. I like to play music. So let me know in the comments below what artist you guys are favorite, because mine's The Weeknd. How can I be mad when I hear you don't have to run? I know. No. Wait, no. Don't put that in, Joey. Don't put that in. I swear to God, if I see that in the YouTube video when it's published, I'm actually firing you. Number 89 is to drone no more than 2 rooms. Take the ground. So motherfuckers will be droning the entire map out before they enter in the building just to get killed by Cav hard right. Number 90, when you're in a 5 stack, try more quick plants, because a lot of people underestimate coordination in this game. It is literally night and day difference from a solo queue team from a 5 stack. In a 5 stack, you can make sure everything works out perfectly, and this way you can abuse that more on the other team you're going up against, because those guys probably don't have the coordination. Number 91, learn peeker's advantage. Have you ever died to somewhere where you're like, oh my God, I just didn't even see this guy on my screen, or I just died to this guy's elbow? Understand peeker's advantage, that sometimes is unavoidable, but you can use that into your favor about 90% of the time. So swing or be swung. Number 92, treat Legion mines like Capcan traps now. Now, Legion's got a nerf where his goo mines aren't invisible anymore, so put them on the side of the door, so this way they won't see it very easily. Number 93, reinforce the middle with head holes as a wall. So a good high rank kind of skill is, if I were in a wall, right? A big wall or a big piece of area map control, I'm gonna want to sit in the middle most of the time, so this way I can peek left or right. This way it gives me more options and makes me a little bit less predictable on where I can push, and this way you can disrupt a lot of common angles. So if you're ever like, does this site setup look right, think about that method: reinforcement in the middle, cover in the middle, and holes in the left or the right. Number 94, it is better to be loud and scary than sneaky on attack. Now this is very, very true, because if you try to be sneaky on attack, it kind of of goes against what you're trying to do in the first place. How are you supposed to open up big walls, you know, breach charge walls up and, you know, shoot a lot of the enemy if you are trying to be quiet all the time? And a lot of this time, this creates a very narrow and tunnel vision mindset. And this ends up tripping over your own shoelace. The enemy already knows that you're coming in the building, so you might as well make it known and make it extra known. Who knows? And then at that point, you're adding more pressure and you're forcing them to play your game. Number 95 is to check default cams at the beginning of the round to get an idea where the attacker is going to enter. For example, if they haven't shot any kind of outside cameras on a certain part of the map, they're probably on the opposite side. So now I can get off cams and rotate over to that map before they enter in. Number 96, it's easy to get heated at the moment, but once the round is over, strap in for the next one. Too many people are worrying about, oh, I should have done this last round, or arguing with their teammate about the most stupid stuff. Come on, that stuff is for women. Just accept that you moved on, accept the other person is right. All right, sure, whatever, and just move on. Remember, that ties in with accountability. Number 97, when you are dropping a hatch, shoot your gun right before you land, kind of mask the drop sound. Number 98, use the man count for aggressive or passive gameplay. This is kind of similar to the clock when I told you guys to use that to dictate, but you have to pay attention to the factors of the round and the situation you were dealt with. If I'm in a 3v5 on defense, it's probably best that I go get aggressive and try to get a kill before they collapse on site. You usually always want to think about it from a retaliating perspective. If we have 3 people and they have 2, they take one of us, we take one of them. They take one of us, we take one of them. Now you have 1 person left standing. But that is obviously if, of course, you guys don't overswing. So when you are in a man advantage, you have a higher man count, you play passive. You sit your ass in sight. But if you are in a 4v5 or of any kind of man, you know, deficit, then you do want to get more aggressive. This way you can calculate your percentages and your risk management better. Number 99, perspective in this game is ass. Accept it. Sometimes you'll hold an angle, or similar to Pika's advantage, you'll see someone's elbow one time and you're dead. But also understand when you are an easier target, but you want to do your best to kind of eliminate as much of your body as possible on an angle. So the next time you're holding an angle, tighten that shit up. And number 100, I'm actually going to give you guys 101 tips, because this is kind of 2 tips. It's different ways to break a barricade. The first one is every single barricade requires 20 bullets to destroy it. So if you shoot 19, just take away 19 from your mag, put 19 bullets into there, and then when you want to run out, you just shoot it one time and you look out wherever you want to shoot. The second way to break a barricade now is to shoot a little slit at the bottom, then you punch the tape or the side of the barricade twice. You don't punch the wood, you just punch it, the yellow strip, because that counts as the hitbox for the barricade. So shoot a little hole, hit that thing twice, and then when you want to jump out, you just jump out whenever. Ladies and gentlemen, that was 100 pro tips in Rainbow Six Siege. Like the video, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and get my charm on my Twitch channel. I'll see you guys soon, and thank you for watching.